Oh man, it's like a spoonful of warm hugs. I'm Mark Matsumoto and welcome to my Tokyo kitchen. Oyako Donburi, or Oyakodon for short, means parent-child rice bowl because it's made with chicken and eggs. Which is kinda messed up if you think about it. Morbid names aside, it's a delicious high-protein rice bowl, and I have a few tricks to elevate my version of this donburi with juicy hunks of flavorful chicken smothered in a velvety sauce. It's the ultimate Japanese comfort food, so let's have a look at our ingredients. I've got 200 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and we're gonna marinate it with 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sake, a 1/4 teaspoon of grated ginger, and 1 tablespoon of potato starch. We're also going to be using 75 grams of onion, 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil, a 1/2 cup of dashi, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 3 large eggs. To garnish our Oyako Donburi, I've got some Shichimi togarashi, as well as some Mitsuba, but you can also use scallions as well. You're also gonna need some cooked Japanese short grain rice, and you can find a link to my video showing you the best way to cook it in the video description below. To prep the chicken, I'm gonna cut it into bite-sized pieces that are roughly the same size. Be sure to trim off any gristle or connective tissue here. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken thighs today because they have the most flavor, but you could also use breast meat as well. Add the chicken to a bowl, and let's marinate this by adding 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sake, and the grated ginger. Then you want to mix this together. Ginger contains a proteolytic enzyme called zingiberine that's going to tenderize the chicken while the soy sauce acts as a brine and seasons the meat. Let this marinate for at least 30 minutes. For the onions, just trim the ends off and then slice it up relatively thinly. Now I'm gonna roughly chop up the Mitsuba. Although it does look a bit like cilantro, the taste is more like celery or carrots. If you can't find it, just substitute some chopped scallions or chives instead. To prep the eggs, I'm gonna break them into a bowl. I recommend using eggs with golden yolks for the best looking oyakodon, but it won't really make a difference in the taste. Remove any caleza, and I'm gonna break up the yolks before swirling the yolks into the egg white. The key here is not to overmix. To finish the prep for the chicken, add the potato starch and mix it in until there are no dry spots and the chicken is evenly coated. This seals in the chicken's juices, and it's also going to help thicken our sauce. While we wait for that to brown, I want to take a moment to thank all of you who've signed up for my weekly recipes over at marksrecipes.com. It's where I share the easy home-cooked meals that I make for my family. And although we're Japanese, most of the dishes don't fit a genre. So head over to check it out, and I hope it inspires your next meal. All right, let's get back to our chicken. Add the oil to a non-stick frying pan over medium heat, and then I'm gonna add the onions. Stir fry these until they go translucent and they start to get tender. This will take about 2 minutes. This is looking good, so I'm gonna push the onions out to the sides of the pan. Then I'm gonna add the chicken to the center of the pan. Spread the chicken out into a single layer, and we're gonna let it brown on one side. This will take about a minute or two. Be sure to stir the onions periodically so they don't burn. Now I'm gonna flip the chicken over. As you can see, the starch has formed a protective layer around the chicken that gels the chicken juices so they don't leak out into the pan. Once the chicken is browned on this side, I'm gonna stir the chicken and onions together until they're evenly distributed. add the dashi, remaining soy sauce, and sugar to the pan, and then we're gonna let the chicken finish cooking in the broth. If you don't have dashi, you can substitute chicken stock. Keep flipping the chicken around the pan so it cooks through evenly, and as you can see, the broth is starting to thicken. This is another benefit of the starch coating. Now that the chicken is cooked through and the sauce is slightly thickened, distribute the chicken evenly around the pan. Then I'm gonna drizzle the egg into the boiling oyakodon sauce from about a foot above the pan. This helps the egg blossom into the sauce, creating a silky smooth matrix of egg and sauce that stays creamy even if the eggs are fully cooked. Now I'm gonna shake the pan a bit to redistribute the uncooked egg. When the egg is cooked to your liking, the oyakodon is done. Of course, this wouldn't be a rice bowl without the rice, so I'm gonna fluff up some freshly cooked rice and serve it in our donburi. Be sure to level off the top. Now I'm gonna use a spatula to scoop the tender chicken and luscious sauce all over our steaming hot rice. Garnish this with some chopped Mitsuba, as well as a dash of Shichimi togarashi. And our Oyako Donburi is ready to eat. The kitchen smells like my childhood and I'm starving, so let's dig in. Itadakimasu. All right, I'm gonna grab a big hunk of chicken here with some rice. The chicken is plump and tender and flavored all the way through thanks to that marinade. And that starch coating has helped it hold on to its juices, so it's super juicy. All right, I'm gonna try some of this egg with the onions. I mean, the egg's cooked all the way through, but it's still super creamy thanks to that velvety and umami-rich sauce. Oyako Donburi is that dish that reminds most Japanese people of their mom's home cooking, so I hope you'll give it a try. Well, I'm off to go edit this week's video, but check out this playlist for more Japanese comfort food, and I'll catch you in the next one.